Hello, and welcome to a teaser of part one of our two-part webinar series on obstructive sleep apnea with Dr. Lou Shimura. You'll notice a jump in this short video. That's because we really wanted you to see Dr. Shimura's wonderful explanation of why OSA treatment is so vital. Please watch through to the end. It is worth seeing. JCO subscribers can view the entire webinar for free, as well as sign up for part two at our website. Non-subscribers must pay a fee. We'll have more information after the video. Enjoy!
And I think as orthodontists, we have to own this. We see people with this, and if we know what to look for, we can go ahead and get them set up to get better. So what do? Well, review the medical history. I just talked to you about all the things that are associated with sleep apnea. They're already on your health history. You start to see those as a family history. The anatomy is hereditary. Start to think, okay, this might be an issue. If mom has GERD, maybe the kid's got a problem. When it's an adult, ask them, have you ever been diagnosed with sleep apnea? I didn't do that before. What I did was I would ask them all these questions around it. And I remember one patient looking at me saying, yeah, after they're answering all these questions, they said, you know I have sleep apnea, right? And I said, no, I didn't know that. They said, okay, yeah, I do. I don't care if you have headaches when you wake, if you know you have diagnosed sleep apnea, then I factor that into my treatment plan. I can't always solve it, but I factor it in. It's one of the things that gets considered. So head posture is one of them, especially when kids are sleeping. If they're sleeping like this, that's the same as when you look at CPR. They're trying to open their own airway. I mean, it's just intuitive, they do it. But what happens? You know, you're not going to get to watch these kids sleeping. If they're doing this when they sleep, when they're walking around, this would be how they would walk around. And they'd be running into poles and buildings and cars and things. What happens is because they have to see, they go like this. And so you'll see this crazy, well, I have it, where you may not be able to see it, but where the neck comes forward and the head is forward off the spine. And so now you get back problems because your head's pretty heavy and you're holding it out in front of where it should be, just so you can support your airway. So when the kid walks into the exam, you can look and say, hey, is there something going on here? That's when you start looking for signs. And one thing doesn't make the diagnosis. One thing gives you oh, I better look at that a little bit closer. The traditional adenoid facies, where they're breathing through their mouth and their upper jaw gets narrow, and you look under their eyes and you see the dark corridors under their eyes. When you look at the side and you see, well, I'll get to that one. When you look at their nares, and I know you probably don't right now, but look at those. If you look at that young man, if he breathes in quickly, those are going to collapse. Okay, that's probably actually a narrow palate, but you know, because they're related. The roof of the mouth is the floor of the nose. But look at the nares. Hold a mirror up there. See if they're breathing through their nose. If they're not, there's a whole bunch of things that don't happen, including disinfecting the air, which will increase the inflammation, which will increase the size of the tonsils and adenoids. And it might be as simple as starting them to breathe through their nose. Now, there's a whole dental group that's their focus. It's not incorrect. I just don't think it's enough. I don't think breathing through your nose when your face is 90% grown is going to solve the problem. I think you're going to have to intervene orthodontically to make that anatomy right and teach them to breathe through their nose. Look at their tongue. I never did this before. There are more people tongue-tied than you would expect. When I was a kid, you didn't get out of the hospital if you were tongue-tied, even a little bit. They'd snip that before you came home. They don't do that anymore. They say, well, we're going to wait till we see symptoms. The symptoms they're looking for are, do they talk funny? Are they swallowing funny? There's also a whole bunch of websites about breastfeeding where when it hurts, chances are there's a tongue tie or a lip tie. But there's a whole science associated with this, and quite frankly, you can actually correct these in office. Before I learned about OSA, probably the thing I learned most about was about lasers and soft tissue lasers. This is stupid easy to fix in your office with a laser. And quite frankly, this poor little girl came in at 3 p.m. and she was a wreck. I mean, she didn't want me to look in her mouth. She didn't know what to do. She was fidgeting. I mean, you could tell life was hell for this poor little kid. And when she came in to get this thing delivered, I went and said hi to the mom, and I let I had a lady work for me who was just sweet as could be, and they worked together, and the kid got it in, and I'm thinking, boy, this isn't going to work. I think we're in trouble. Probably 3-4 weeks later, and I don't go by the front desk very often. I'm usually busy in the back. I walk by the front desk, and this woman turns around, sees me, and throws her arms around me. She accosted me at the front desk. It was this little girl's mom. She said, "Thank you for giving us our life back."
Oh, wow.
Because the kid was suffering, but because she was suffering, the whole family was suffering.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll get more genuine thank yous and more appreciation from this than anything you ever do with a smile. I don't care how good you are at straightening teeth. This is life-changing.
Enjoyed that? JCO subscribers can view the full webinar at our website, as well as sign up for our live Part 2, which will take place on Wednesday, February 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Non-subscribers must pay $80 to watch recordings, like Part 1, and $100 to attend live. A digital-only JCO subscription is just $223 for a full year, so it might pay to subscribe, because not only do you get JCO each month, but you also get access to our library of webinars, including non-surgical treatment for gummy smiles, aesthetic steps for canine lateral substitutions, the digitally guided indirect bonding process, best practice protocols for TADs, and much more, including, of course, all of our upcoming live webinars. Sign up today.